Hey everyone, I hope you're well. Here's another one of my videos, and today I'm talking about hydration. Now, I've spoken about hydration before, but I thought I wanted to give you some practical ways in which you can increase the amount that you're drinking. So hydration is really important. A high proportion of our body is water. It fluctuates with age, but generally we're at any one point in our life, we're at least 50% water. So it's really important to stay hydrated. So hydration is really important for our health. It's important if you're not drinking enough. You might find that you're getting headaches. You might find you've got dry skin. Drinking sufficient amounts of water is important to reduce constipation. It's really important for absorption of nutrients. Many of our micronutrients are water soluble. So we want to be making sure that we're consuming enough water so that they are absorbed properly. So recommendations for how much water you need to drink do vary a lot between countries. And it's like, well, what is this recommendation? Is it just water? Does it include tea and coffee? Does it include food? So what you'll hear a lot is like really between 6 and 8 glasses of water a day, and that's really liquids a day to be consuming. I recommend 2 litres, and 8 glasses is nearly 2 litres, and aim for that. But it's important to remember that the amount that you need to drink really depends on a number of different factors. How warm it is where you're living, how much exercise you're doing, the time of year. If you're sick, like if you've got some sort of tummy bug, then it's important to be able to flush infection out with plenty of water. So I say aim for 2 litres a day. But use your intuition. If you're thirsty, drink. If it's hot, drink more. If you're exercising, drink more. But some people find it quite challenging to drink enough water. I do. And I even have like this water bottle, let's see if I can light her up, that flashes at me when I'm behind on my drinking. But even with something like that, I still struggle. So how can you make drinking water easier? So you can include things like tea and coffee. With tea and coffee, it's being aware of the caffeine, how late in the day you're consuming caffeine, how much caffeine you're consuming. But coffee and tea have a lot of benefits. They have a lot of antioxidants. They're bitters, which are great for the digestion. So they do get a bad rap. And be aware what you're putting in your tea and coffee. Because if you're loading it up with sugar, cream, then obviously that is adding to calories. So you need to be limiting the amount of like souped up coffees that you're drinking. Sodas, do minimize sodas. Sodas are loaded with sugar. If they're diet sodas, then they're loaded with sweeteners. And there are links between sweeteners and cancer. So be sensible in how much you're drinking. Fruit juice is great, but again, they're high in sugar. It's a concentrated source of fruit, and fruits all have sugar. So you can water them down by mixing them part and part with water. But I really love infusions and also cold coffee and tea. Now, iced coffee, iced tea are very popular in the States. And we can get them here as well, but they're just not as popular. But I think they're a great way for getting more liquids inside you. And you don't need to be doing regular tea. You don't need to be sweetening them incredibly. And if you're using herbal teas, and especially fruit teas, they're naturally sweet. So you can brew up a pot of tea or coffee, let it cool, and then drink it. Sweeten it a little bit if you need to. But I really love cold infusions, and it's really simple to make. So I mean, I make milk kefir, so I have these milk bottles which make it easier because they've got a wide mouth, and I have a tea subscription, so every month I get a range of different delicious teas from Bird and Blend, and this week one of them is called peach soda. Being in the summer, these are great drinks to be having, and we've got the summer flavours now. So actually with this is a litre bottle, so I'll just I usually put in a tablespoon of tea. Now this one's a mix of apple pieces, hibiscus, cardamom, rose petals, rose hip, freeze-dried peach, orange peel. So this is caffeine free. I've got a couple of others here. This one's Rooibos tea base, which is caffeine free, and this one is a green tea base. So basically get them. I didn't bring my lids. Hold on. And back. Yeah, just put the lid on and shake it. And leave it for 24 hours to absorb the flavours of the tea, for the water to infuse. Now you can get cold brew bottles, but they can be pricey. It's and yeah, cold brew bottles, they're a bottle and they've got a built-in filter, but they can be quite pricey, but you don't need that. You know, you can do it in a bottle like this. As you can see, there's a little pink coming into that now. You can just do it in like a jug, put it in the refrigerator overnight. I do recommend investing in a tea filter like this. It's a very fine filter, so when this is ready, I just use this to filter it out. And this can be used in mugs, to make mugs of tea for when you're using loose leaf tea. Now you can do the same with coffee. So this one's a little smaller, so I'll put a little less coffee in, but doing a cold brew means that you end up with a milder flavour. It gets a lot stronger when it's actually brewed with hot tea. And again, just put the lid on and give it a shake. Now what I try to do is every time I put these in the fridge, every time I go into the fridge, give them a bit of a shake to help infuse that flavour into the water. And then I've got drinks to get me through all of tomorrow, and it's different types of flavours. But fruit infusions can be as simple as pouring a glass of water and putting in a sprig of mint, slice of orange, couple of bits of pineapple. Now drinking this like so soon after putting something in, obviously you can give it a nice stir, but the real benefit of infusions comes when you leave it for a few hours. So I recommend getting a jug, and then you can load it up with some bits and pieces. Here's some strawberries, ginger is really good, maybe some kiwi pieces. This is some lime mint from the garden, and again give it a nice stir, and then leave that in the fridge for 3 to 4 hours, or leave it overnight, and then that flavour goes through all of that water. There's no calories, or there's few calories. Yeah, some of the sugar of the fruit is going to come too, but it's negligible. But you get that flavour, and it makes water so much more interesting. So I've got some pineapple mint from the garden. This is pineapple sage. Herbs are great for water infusions. I've got pineapple, lemon, ginger, orange. You can. I've got kiwi and strawberry. Cucumber is a really good one to add in. Experiment, but it's all around water not being so boring. I mean, if you like just plain water, fine. I prefer filtered water. I have a Berkey. A Berkey is a big metal filter. They're a large upfront investment, but they save you over the lifetime, and they save on waste. Now, a Brita filter jug you can have in the fridge, and that means it's always going to be chilled if you prefer chilled water. You can recycle the filters with that, but over 10 years a Berkey is a lot cheaper. We're lucky in the UK that you can drink the water, but I just prefer it without that kind of metallic-y taste, and that my water doesn't have chlorine in it. Another alternative is you pour out a jug and you leave it for 24 hours for chemicals to disperse. I would recommend against bottled water, mainly because of the waste. There is way too much plastic in the world, so it's thinking about sustainable ways of drinking. So I hope that helps give you some ideas to increase your water intake and make drinking water a bit more interesting. Let me know, what are your favourite tips? Right, I'll catch you next week. Have a great week. Bye.